So great. Hi, North Dakota. Does recovery rock or does recovery rock? Huh? Yeah. You guys are amazing. You're so blessed to have these leaders that you have. Any state would just welcome the opportunity to have a first lady and a governor who are so involved with recovery initiatives. They already introduced me. I guess the most important thing that I want you to know is that I am a woman in long-term recovery. And what that means to me, woo! What that means to me is that I haven't found it necessary to have an unhealthy relationship with any substance for over 30 years. Yeah. I am definitely infatuated with the miraculous. It intrigues me. I think we are just evidence, living proof that recovery is possible. One of the things that's really important to me, and there's a saying, what? You can only keep what you have by how? Giving it away. It's a paradox, right? And a lot of times people tend to want to keep things to themselves. The arena of treatment, prevention, treatment, and recovery can be very competitive. But when you are a peer with lived experience, it behooves you to give it away. You get more when you give it away. So it's very important to me today to impart something to you that then you can give away. Okay, that's my job here today. I honor God, my creator, maker of all things. I honor my ancestors and my elders. I pay special honor to my indigenous Native American brothers and sisters, and for all those who have the courage to recover and those who support them, family members, behavioral health, everybody. I want to talk to you today about, I guess I better go back. I'm learning here. I want to talk to you about creating and supporting a vibrant recovery community in your home, workplace, and community. I'm going to give you some tools that you can take away today, and I want you to share them. This slide deck, if you want it, use it, okay? It's for you to use and to share with others. It does me no good keeping it just on a pen drive, flash drive on my desktop, okay? I want you to use it. So one of my favorite documents that we use now is SAMHSA's working definition of recovery, okay? And I'm sure that many of you already are familiar with this definition. It came out in 2010, but I don't want to assume that everybody understands and knows the same definition. This is standardizing the whole understanding of this particular document. There's a link in here that will link you to the document. Make sure you get it. It's just a little trifold, but it's very powerful. So recovery was identified as a primary goal for behavioral health care in 2010. SAMHSA identified this. They had leaders in the behavioral health field consisting of people in recovery from mental health and substance use problems. And SAMHSA met to explore the development of a common unified working definition of recovery. This is the definition that we now use. Now, prior to this, mental health and substance use disorder had two separate definitions. In 2010, they said we need to come together. They had a convening, people with lived experience, and they came up with this definition of recovery. It's now used. The idea of this was to provide a standard, unified working definition that helps to advance recovery opportunities for all Americans, and help to clarify these concepts for peers, families, funders, providers, and others. So when we come to the table and talk about recovery, we all have the same understanding. It's a process of change through which individuals improve their health and wellness, live a self-directed life, and strive to reach their full potential. Okay, so as an advocate, one of the things that I'm always trying to do is to level the playing field, right? And I've got news for you. Advocacy is about anger, not being okay with how things are. But you have to learn how to strategically channel that anger, okay? Just left go and wild, it does no good. It can actually do more damage than the original reason you got mad for, right? So in terms of coming up with tools that can be used to advance recovery support services, I designed this image. And what it is, as an extension of the initiative that SAMHSA had started, they came up with a couple of things in that document, in that one little pamphlet. First was the definition of recovery. The next was the 4 dimensions that support a life in recovery. And as you can see here, they include health, home, purpose, and community. These are the things that are foundational to supporting a life in recovery. Now, I would be remiss to not tell you that racial biases impact these very things. There is a substantial body of work that supports the idea that depending on how I look, so if I look like me, and guess what? I look like me, right? But there's an impact on how I'm treated in health, how much access I have to renting or buying a property. My purpose can be impacted, job, whatever, and community, okay? Those are things that can be impacted. So I just wanted to put that out there because it's a fact. I don't want to appear foolish and pretend that I don't know these things. Now that you know them, you're responsible for that information. You know it too, okay? Now, let's talk about health, the first dimension. Overcoming or managing one's disease or symptoms. Recovery is our responsibility. When we have rights, we have responsibilities for those rights, okay? And if we want to be part of the mainstream of health care, health is our responsibility. Our recovery health is our responsibility. So, for example, abstaining from use of alcohol, illicit drugs, and non-prescribed medication. That means not your grandma's, right? Okay. It's yours. Okay. And if one has an addiction problem, and for everyone in recovery, making informed, healthy choices that support physical and emotional well-being. Recovery is my responsibility. I can't blame you. I have to take personal responsibility. And actually, it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be able to do that. That's part of the self-directed life that I live. Let's talk about purpose. Oh, I love purpose. So, purpose is about having meaningful daily activities such as a job, school, volunteering, family caretaking, or creative endeavors, and the independence, income, and resources to participate in society. So, first of all, we become employable, right? I don't know about you, but I had one, and I'm using this word literally, one hell of an act of addiction, okay? I was not employable. My job was finding ways and means, day in, day out. That's all I did. And I had to be stopped. I did not stop on my own. I had to be stopped. And some people call it arrested. I call it rescued, right? Yeah, I thank God. Hey, by any means necessary, because that's how I approach my addiction. I was not a person you wanted to meet on a dark night. Trust me. I was not the person that stands before you today. I was very different. And so I had to be stopped, and rightfully so. And rightfully so. The criminal justice system did their job. They did their job in stopping me. So that was a blessing, and I count it as such. But what we become, recovery is a beautiful thing. We can go way beyond where we started from. That's the beauty of finding a way to recover. Multiple pathways. There's too many pathways not to choose one. Okay? We become taxpayers rather than tax takers. I'm no longer a burden to the system. I pay taxes. I pay into the system that I used to drain, right? That's not, I like that. I like being a productive member of society, leading a full and purposeful life. Let me tell you a little bit about where the name, that's our logo, Lost Streams Awakening. And it kind of indicates that we're in action, right? That our dreams are awakening, that it's in process, that it's continuous. And so one of the beauties of Lost Streams Awakening, it's tied directly into purpose. My husband's here. He's the big black bald man you can't miss. Stand up, Doc. Stand up, Doc. That's my husband. Yeah. Yeah. Let me tell you something about purpose and the beauty of it. I introduced him to recovery. He's got a little over 30 years in recovery too. Yeah. Never knowing that the change in my life was going to impact others' lives, right? But the beauty of it, and we both got into recovery kind of the same way, and I can recall him being in a halfway house, and that he was court-ordered to. And in preparation for this halfway house, we went to court and said, I said, you better ask for school release or work release. You know how we do. Try to set up those things. Yeah. And he asked for school, and so I had to go pick him up every day from the halfway house and take him to school. I said, well, heck, I might as well sign up too. So I signed up. He got a dual degree, microcomputers and accounting, and I ended up getting a health administration degree out of that experience. Because he had to go anyway. I was picking him up. Why not? It worked out. It wasn't something, Lost Streams Awakening. Not even knowing you're participating in a process that's going to benefit you in the long run. What they say, don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle happens, right? So then got out of that. He got a really good job with PPG Industries out of that. And worked there about a decade, and then they said, okay, manufacturing jobs are going other places. He said, I'll go back to school. Went back to school, got his undergrad degree. After that, went to Duquesne University, got his master's degree. I said, you might as well keep going. You get some respect, right? Got his PhD. Right? From that experience of going to court, right? Taking that experience and turning it into something beautiful. And then we said, we need to get back to our community. We ravished it. We need to amend, right? Opened up our recovery community organization. We started that process in about 2009. And we serve 10,000 visits a year, free of charge, no government funding, that we fully sustain that place. Now, I got to tell you, we have a lot of spaghetti dinners. Yeah. My husband said, I'm tired of rolling meatballs. Yeah. We have a big Italian population where we live. So spaghetti dinners goes really well. But anyway, I'm just saying, when you find your purpose, what you can really do, right? Purpose is powerful. It acts like a magnet. If you find your purpose, you don't have to worry about finding the resources. They'll come. They will come. It's an act of faith. Okay. Community. Let's talk about community here. We know that connection is protection, right? Relationships and social networks that provide support, friendship, love, and hope. And sometimes we burn bridges, right? And we might not have our family of origin, but we recreate family. We recreate it in our support systems. Listen, when I got into recovery, this blew my mind. My PO became one of my best friends. He was my best ally. We were on we'd call each other, hey, what you doing? You know, he followed what we were doing. And so it just is amazing. And Dr. Lee talked about it, changing perspective. You know, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. It's perspective. It really is. And having community, not lamenting over, oh, my family doesn't accept me. No, recreate your family. And when you do that, your family of origin just might say, hey, get over here, right? They may not. But in the meantime, you got one. Recreate, do what you need to do in order to make that sense of community. And I know COVID has really challenged us in staying connected. But we've continued and persisted. And look at us. Look at this room in the midst of, right? Because connection is protection. And so we do that. LDA belongs to ARCO. ARCO, the Association of Recovery Community Organizations, is the gold standard association for recovery community organizations. This is a great way to build community while helping individuals. If you want to start, and there's a lady I talked to out there, I think it was Coffee and Hope or Hope and Coffee, something she's trying to do. She needs support. She's trying to do a recovery, there you are. She's trying to do a recovery community organization. I need to tell you, that needs to be in every community. Like if you're from different parts of the state, do an RCO. I'll help you. Call me, I'll help you. I've done it for other rural, just like this, farmland. I've done them. 3 count, I've set them up. And so we can do that, but that's a very important touch point, right? There's a link that's provided for you for this, for an RCO toolkit. I'm going to make sure the young lady I met out in the expo, which that expo is really nice, I'm going to make sure she gets it. I'm going to show you a little video clip from Lost Dreams Awakening. It's about 1.5 minutes. This is our recovery center in Pennsylvania. See if I could.
What has been the most fulfilling part of founding Lost Dreams Awakening? I think the feeling or the vision and then seeing the return. So with all the interactions, you know, one day when someone comes up to you and says, you helped save my life, that's heart-piercing. It really is.
How would I describe Lost Dreams Awakening in 5 words or less?
Just even in the name, like Lost Dreams Awakening, new possibilities arise.
My home away from home.
The greatest show on earth.
It's a very magical place.
Oh, I don't know if I can do it in just 5 words. I'd say hope, faith, love, family, and excitement.
It's where dreams come back.
I would like to say that nothing happens by yourself. You need others. It's part of how we were created, to be interdependent upon one another. I cannot say enough about the people who have come alongside of us to assist us, the volunteers, the people who give. We can't do this thing alone. This isn't the Laurie and Von Zell show. This is a community organization for the recovery community. Individuals, families, and communities working together for this vision, for this dream, so that together we can elevate others. I'm all about helping people help themselves. That tickles me every time I see that little video because it's real, right? It's real stuff. And so then we do family groups. We have a lot of things. Visit our website. Feel free to, Listen, you have full permission to use whatever's on there. And I'll explain to you where that came from for me. I'm almost done, but home is so important, right? That we have a stable and safe place to live. This journey can start in a sober home and provide the foundation on which to build your recovery. I personally went from homelessness to home ownership. Actually, I've owned several homes. Recovery truly makes dreams come true. I've owned homes because I went to work, okay? It was something I worked for, and I continue to work. I believe in hard work. I come from farmers. My family were farming. My dad was one of 10 children. Of course, as soon as he turned 18 and graduated from high school, he went on the first train to the military. My dad's a Vietnam vet, served 2 tours. So, yeah. So what I'm saying is, you know, and we kind of kid around sometimes. You know, the recovery community, we have inside jokes, right? We have things, if anybody else said it, we wouldn't like it, but we have our inside stuff. But we said we went from the trap house to the White House, right? Yeah, because that's the truth. I got to go and be in the White House, and they were asking me, Laurie, what do you think about recovery support services? From the trap house to the White House. Come on now. Don't tell me recovery ain't good. Yeah. Sometimes I wonder, is this really my life, right? I mean, the First Lady, oh man, this is amazing. This is the stuff the dreams are made of. You could not have told me this in 1990 before I entered into my recovery journey in 1991 that I was going to have this type of life. It's beyond my wildest imaginations. And if I perish today, I've lived my best life. I've lived my best. Have you? Come on now. I got a newscast for you. If you haven't, you can. If you haven't, you can. If I could do it, anybody can do it. Okay, me and my husband. If we could do it, let me tell you this quick little story. Okay. There's a lovely young lady here named Nicole. She's assisting with this event. So she came and picked us up, took us over. We went over to the governor's residence. And listen, governor's residence? That's where we went. Anyway, she said, how did you two meet, me and my husband? I said, you don't want to know. No, we shared it with her. You know what I'm saying? But we're not the norm. We didn't want people to get the wrong idea, because usually 2 flat tires can't drive no car, okay? Yeah, don't get the wrong idea. All right, so I want to just tell you about this project. I'm not going to play it. After hearing the singers out here, I'm going to leave this alone. But Stronger as We Rise is an anthem on our website that you can go to and check it out for yourself. William White. Has anybody heard of William White? Yeah. He's a recovery warrior. He's my personal recovery hero. He's a beautiful human being. And he's the one who taught me you share everything. William White, check him out, William White Papers. There's enough material there that you need the rest of your life to go through all his stuff. He's the author of Slaying the Dragon and Recovery Rising. He is absolutely an extraordinary human being. We did this tribute to him. A friend of his wrote the song. Look him up, you'll see it'll all make sense. He's worked on the recovery capital scale, which those 4 dimensions equal the recovery capital that you're working with, the 4 dimensions that I showed you. He worked with Dr. Kelly from the Recovery Research Institute on that, and he's just a recovery historian. He is a dear friend of Don Coyes, the founder of the Wellbriety and White Bison movement. For my indigenous people, I hope you're connected with Wellbriety and White Bison. That's a powerful movement, healing movement. Okay? Yes. Yes. Okay. It's time to give thanks. I'm going to give thanks to Governor Burgum and the First Lady Catherine and the 2021 Recovery Reinvented team. Give a gratitude for them.